RPGD 2021. What about the other words? I'll do the words from day 5, 6, and 7. The other words, the major prompt of those 3 days are already on my channel where I explore PDFs. Now we'll ramble about those other 3 words for the RPGD 2021. So let's begin with day 5. First word, first other prompt is gamble, which makes me think about a game of Star Wars D6 I did a long time ago. Maybe some of you remember, Crisis on Cloud City, which was an adventure module, and that came with a deck of Sabacc to emulate, the Sabacc game. And we used that deck quite a lot. We were enjoying playing this game. And I have made some house rules with the gambling skill, okay? So to take advantage. And I remember one game, in one session. Don't remember exactly why, but the players had to meet a gangster on a planet to get some information, and they really wanted that information. So the gambler was a good Sabacc player, and if the players were winning, could win against the gangster, they would get the information. Otherwise, the gangster will ask them for a favor. And the best Sabacc player of the player characters was a female. She was playing some sort of a female Han Solo. So we begin the Sabacc game with all the role playings and the exchange. If I win, what I will ask to you personally, and I don't think so. And that kind of exchange you see in a movie. With the gambling skill, my gangster was very good. He was winning some hands, and at some point he had a very good hand. He was about to win, and I was role-playing him, laughing. And he was thinking about the favor he would ask the girl. And I remember the player looking in my eyes and saying no, and just putting her cards on the table. She had a perfect Sabacc. They have won. I remember the players cheering because they were looking after that information, and they have won. It was really like in a movie, and it was all gamble. And, it was one of those moments. The other word, include. The role-playing game is really the best place in the world to include whatever you want. As a game, if you want to write novels and include whatever you want in it, you can. But it's about writing, it's not about playing. As a game, you can't do that in a board game or a video game. What is in those games is already there. You can't really change what is included. But in role-playing, you can include whatever you want, unless you are under some sort of a canon that you want to keep, to protect. But if you want to play fantasy and put an airplane in it, you can. If the story is good and the players are buying it, include it. Okay, there are many ways to do that. I think role-playing games is the best place to go crazy with that. And just think about games that are, about including whatever you want. Think about Rifts. Think about Torg. Okay, you can include whatever you want. Yeah, that is the joy of role-playing. Next word, community. Well, why I'm doing videos was to join a community that was on YouTube, okay? Exchanging, responding to videos, sharing my thoughts, and I've learned a lot. A community is very important. It's very important to exchange. If you want to get better, you have to have those sorts of conversation. It makes you, it makes you think about what you're doing, and if you're doing it right, and okay, and yeah, it really helps. Before YouTube, I was going into local gaming store where I could meet people and do exactly that, but with with family life and all that. Being on video is great, and you can do that in written form, podcast, anything. But community, there's a very good community that I'm exchanging with, and I'm very glad to be part of it. So what is the next word? 6, chase. Oh, I love chases. Chases is like running a combat, but with movement rules included in it. Well, it appeals for other types of rules than in a combat, and I really like that. And if you like it cinematic, you know, what do you want in a chase? You want, you know, let's say it's a chase with cars in a city. Okay, you get into that narrow street, and then you get down some stairs and you ran down the open market, and people are jumping around, jumping in baskets of habble in order not to be hit by the cars. And okay, you want that type of thing. And I have something to say about this, actually. In many games, you know, chases might evoke, you know, opposed rolls and all sorts of stuff and all sorts of rules and things to keep track for the game master. Yeah, he can give so many descriptions about exciting things that might happen in the chase, but you know, admit it, you know, you have to improvise a lot, because you know, it's rare that in an adventure you already know the path of what it will go on in a chase. Okay, so yeah, you can be good and put down some exciting description, but often your head is stuck with, you know, the management of the rules. So what do I have to say? Use random tables. Even if you're not a fan of random tables do have their place in chases. There are many games that offers stuff that can happen in a chase in random tables. Let the game help you put down some exciting things during the chase. Okay, there's an animal crossing, there's a dead end, there's a you know, there's an obstacle going your way that you have to avoid. Okay, so random tables will help you. You will be able to keep your head with the maths of the chase on how it's progressing, while the game will provide you exciting description. So yeah, that's how I think chase should be handled. Next word, explore. I don't think I will have much to say. You know, the core of many role-playing games is about exploration, discovering the unknown, and, you know, going to place where no other adventurers has been before. Yeah, exploration. I think that word is at the core of many role-playing campaigns. Exploration of a place, exploration of a character. Yeah, exploration is a very important word, but I don't have much more to say. The next word, path. I'll talk to you about True 20. Recently, you know, I'm running actually a game of True 20 that will end this week, by the way. So, and once in a while they had to find their path into wilderness. So there's a survival check to do and a very interesting table. Probably there's something similar in Pathfinder Dungeons 3.0, 3.5, since True 20 is based upon the D20 OGL. But True 20 was interesting, you know, depending on the distance, you know, the weather, how dangerous the place is, how wild it is, you know, there's a difficulty that we'll put there. And if you fail, well, you're not necessarily lost, but you might be delayed, which might be dangerous. You know, if the place is dangerous, there might be some environmental hazards, some encounters with creatures. Maybe you had to get somewhere with a limited time, so you might not make it on time, and something bad might happen. Whatever. So it kind, you know, losing your path might open up to more exciting perils. Let's put it like that. And the joy of a player who actually succeeds a role for that kind of challenge. Well, you know, they are proud, and yeah, I'm the master tracker of the group, and yeah, we found our path, and then we continue with the adventure. Yeah, that's what path evokes to me. Next word, inspiration. Inspiration is everywhere. I think I'm telling nothing new here. In order for me to pick up the inspiration. My antennas are on my head, ready to pick up any ideas that might come up, inspiration. And I have something to take notes. Actually, I use Google Keep, which is very handy. And I take notes about everything. Sometimes I have inspiration for a, awesome idea about, anything about, let's say, a campaign, my True 20 campaign, okay? And I take down the note. Sometimes this awesome idea just doesn't make the campaign at all, but it doesn't matter because I have kind of trained myself into catching up the inspiration and putting that on the written form, and maybe it could be used later in another campaign or not at all, but it doesn't matter. Just making the exercise is very important. Let's grab the inspiration and write it down. It might be useful. What is the other word? Better, yeah. Sorry. Better. I really looking forward to be better at playing role-playing games. And what is my trick to get myself better? I read a lot about role-playing techniques. I do listen to lots of YouTube videos about people talking about their experience. I did catch up some tricks. And one of the things I did, especially since I'm using a lot of videos, I do record my games. Most of my games are now recorded. Some of them are live. You can find them on my YouTube channel. Some of them are not available, but I do listen to them. And I'm very, I'm hard on myself, but I do listen a lot to what's happening and how I do it, and I try to think on how I can do it better. I think in the recent year I improved a lot of my role-playing techniques, whether as a game master or as a player, and it's because I took it very seriously and just take note of myself, to know on how I do stuff and how I can make it different to make a better experience. Last word, engage. Well, engagement is very important in role-playing game. Okay, you have to be there. You have to be involved. Okay, I think engaging is very important. Okay, it's not all on the shoulder of the game master. Everyone involved, the players, have something to bring, and it's their engagement towards the game that will help them bring the better out of it. Okay, you have to be honest with what sort of engagement you're ready to. Some players will be more engaged with one-shots. Some players are ready to put their engagement for a longer-term campaign. It depends. Be honest with yourself, because your engagement will help in the success of the role-playing game you decided to get involved with. So engagement is very important. Yeah. Well, that closes up the day 5, 6, and 7 about the other words prompts of RPGAD 2021. Thank you for watching, and see you for probably the next 3 days. In one stroke I will do the other prompts. So see you then. Bye.